I think I have something like half an hour here. I was thinking what I could be talking in this half an hour, and I took my quote-unquote standard presentation that I've been doing all these months and customize it a little bit and put it up here. I usually take about an hour and a half for this presentation, which is going to be kind of difficult to run it in a half an hour, but I could. Inside the presentation there are several points. We are talking about why we go to space, why we send astronauts in space. Actually, I started with why we send astronauts in space, what is the reason that we go to space, and then a little bit of personal history, how I became an astronaut, started from my dream, then a little bit of story of my last long-duration mission with slides and activities, science, technology, education. Then we go into a little bit of Earth observation, looking about the Earth in a kind of unprofessional way, in a certain way, because we are on the space station and we just look down at the cupola and take some pictures, and we take a lot of pictures. I thought I took a lot. I took about 26,000, but you know, Andre and Don Pettit, more than Andre, managed to take 26,000 per week while they were up there. So they totally clogged the whole system, and so. But I have some of these pictures that I put out, and I usually look at this picture. From once, they are very nice, as almost work of art, and the other side, they actually tell you something. So it's interesting that I point out this. Then we finish up with yes, but where are we going in the future? And then we all hug together and sing Kumbaya, and this is very good. Now, all of this in 20 minutes, and I thought, you know, I'm not sure I want to do this today here, because you're not the typical school audience or the typical general public, so I think it will be kind of not too interesting if we think about why we do send astronauts in space, and you know, what is the space station, you know, going to the moon, and I was a little kid, cute, and then fast forward, and you know, when I am in Baikonur, launched in space, docking to station, the crew, I don't have it pointed, but you see my commander, Dmitry Kondratev, right in the middle, smiling there. And then, you know, after 6 months, after 3 months, actually, 3 of the crew go away, and so we get a new crew up there. Rongaran, upper left, we saw yesterday. Dmitry, upper right, still smiling. And then, you know, get there and you find yourself in this environment which is kind of really weird. At the beginning, it takes several weeks to get used to it. I always thought, thank God they gave me the place to sleep, my personal place on the left, because I could not have slept like a vampire up there like Scott, or in down in the dead area like the Russian there. But this is the list of all the experience. We don't go in space to fool around, quote unquote. We worked really hard from 7:30 in the morning till, you know, I don't know, 9 or 10 o'clock in the evening. So if you want to do something personal, you have to actually take it out of the sleeping time, which I did essentially every day. So science again, I usually use this one to explain fluid shift, all sorts of other things, osteoporosis and blah, blah, blah. I know you guys know all of it, so I'm not going to use time there. We do some kind of experiments with the brain, technology experiments, furnace stuff. So space station is really a good lab. We do a lot of educational experiment, greenhouse. Where is Nadezhda? I think she was involved there in this one, right? It didn't work, by the way. Then Mission X, train like an astronaut. So we're kind of doing things. What happened here? Something different. I think I saved the wrong presentation. I'm not showing the one that I was supposed to. So, Aries, talking to the guys with the space station, I mean with the ham radio stuff. Then looking down at the cupola, which we actually used to usually move a crane up in space. We grabbed the ATV. This is Dima still smiling while we're taking pictures. Some of the pictures, so you guys maybe know where we are here. This is Patagonia, by the way. This is northern Canada. I like that, you know, kind of aquarelle thing. This is the lower in the Amazon, a little bit south. I usually say, looking at this picture, I usually make a comment, you know, start talking about, which I'm going not to do now, actually do very quick. Nice pictures, it looks like a carpet or something, but then you look at it, this is not a small river, it's a big river. It contains a lot of water, so if probably you are sitting in this side of the river, you will probably not be able to see the other side. So it's a huge thing. It's not the typical small thing. Interesting on these pictures, I usually say, well, first of all, this shows you that the river is not static. Something is really happening here. There is a hill, a mountain or a hill or something dissolved into the water, and something is moving from there and is going somewhere there. So the earth is changing, and it's changing dramatically, drastically. So the nature changes continuously. See how many times the river has changed course. So if you think about it, it's almost obvious that it's not a good idea if you would like to build a city and you build it right here. Because it's obvious that sooner or later it's going to get flooded, it's going to get run over by the river. It seems obvious, but then you go around the world and you actually find that you know, most of the cities are built around rivers, and then we kind of get upset when the river goes out and floods everything. I took this picture May last year when the Mississippi actually flooded. I altered the colors here, so everything that you see that is not green is underwater there. So the amount of damage and things, it's pretty big. But if you look at it, there's not that much difference between these pictures and these pictures, more or less. Of course, this is the what is this? Very good. The Grand Canyon with the Colorado River there, and here the action of taking out all the dirt. You know, we are talking about 1.5 kilometers depth here, so this is huge. All the action of taking away everything is finished, so something that was up is now down, and the river now it's a very little thing because they are using it to green up all the golf courses in Arizona and up there. So this is the Caribbeans, Cuba up here, Bahamas there. Very nice when you look at there, and then you just kind of look at, I was looking at these areas here, and I thought, these are interesting. This is big. I mean, it's not something very little that you would see from the ground. So I kind of looked at it and started looking a little bit more detailed. And then you see these, this kind of draperies. This is, again, this is large scale. It's not a small scale. Then you see something like that. And this is Dubai, right? This is Bahrain. But now you look at this and you know, because these things are seen, you can see this from space. And obviously, we are starting now changing the morphology of the Earth. You know, all the rivers are kind of channeled, so they don't go overboard. We build this kind of thing, so something has changed here. But in this picture, can you turn the light off? This light here off? Because I want to show you this part here. You see there's, if you can turn that light off, we can see this part here, which is now, there you go. So you see the coral reef here, that it goes, and then kind of gone because they had to dredge all this area here to actually build the islands there. So it will take some time. I will get back. If you see, it's all patches because they had to kind of dredge it up. And now this is a little bit more than microscopic change. You know, there's some kind of currents here that are now changed or something. I would guess these reefs up there will kind of change in the future. And you know, I don't have anything against the people in Bahrain or Dubai or whatever. But what I'm saying is that we do things to this Earth which are really small, apparently, but they have a really effect, and a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit up, a little bit down. You're actually really changing this planet. This looks like a little thing, but again, huge pictures with the effect of wind blowing sand, and you know, being a little bit of not linear in a certain way, so distributing the sand in a different pattern depending where you are on the Earth. And these are always nice to see. The deserts are nice to see from space because very seldom you get clouds. There are a lot of sand here. This is Saudi Arabia. I guess they have to clean this road pretty often because, you know, it gets blown over by the wind. This is Egypt with this white sands blown in this way by the wind. And I was looking at this picture in the evening and I thought, I need to clean up the sensor. You know, the sensor in space gets dirty very quickly because of the dust gets attracted by the sensor. So I thought, it's very dirty, I need to clean it. Then I realized, look at it carefully, and you see for every black spot, there is a white spot on top. So those are the shadow, those little clouds that were on this desert. So it's full of little clouds, you know. And I thought, if I'm lost in that desert, I will look for one of those clouds and try to follow it around in order not to be burned up. This is, if you look at this picture, this is interesting. On the left, you see very dark area. It's obviously a city, freeway, all these things, densely populated. Then some kind of demarcation line, and then the desert here with this other city here, kind of weird. Totally different there, so there's something wrong. There are no major streets, there are no trees, there is nothing. So something is weird here. So the question that I usually ask is, where are we here? Cairo. Everybody knows, see Cairo's there? Yeah, everybody. So of course, you see the pyramids right here in the middle. And what I say, by the way, most of the people don't see the pyramids. I, in purpose, put their attention away from the center. But what I say is that if it would be us today building a mausoleum where to put the king or the emperor, we will not put it in the desert. We will put it right here. And of course, the Egyptians figured out that either they make the mummies learn to swim or something, because the Nile would come all the way to here and then go back. And this is the reason why this area here is fertile and the rest is the desert. So what the Egyptian did, look at nature and work with it. Put the pyramids right outside the area where the Nile would come and cover up everything. But I'm pretty sure we would do it. We'll put it right in the middle of the city, and then eventually we'll figure out how come, you know, they get flooded once in a while. What is this? Vesuvio. It's Vesuvio. You see the people around, right? But you don't see, in order to see the people, you need to take picture really at night. So if you take picture at night, by the way, just one comment. I thought Vesuvio blew up just a little bit, but if you see the area that really blew up in 79 after AC and covered up most of the population around, it's pretty big. It's a huge area. So if you take picture at night of Naples, you come up with something like this. Do you see where Vesuvio is? There's actually this spot here, right in the middle. So the volcano is built, it's inside the city. The center of the city is less than a diameter away from the Vesuvio. And around here, 1 million people live, by the way. So around that active volcano, there are 1 million people sitting there. So, okay. Florida, yes. But I say here, you know, Florida, okay, fine. So far, so good. But I start saying that, you know, night pictures tell you where the population is, but they tell you also the industrial capability of a nation, the resources that there are on that area. If a nation is able to build something like this, like a city like this, Miami, it means there are a lot of people in there, they have a lot of money, they have a lot of infrastructure, it's very highly technological, blah, blah, blah. By the way, this city, if you look at it, it's almost, you know, cut like the typical US city, but all of them, if you look at them, they're all like this. So you can look at it and figure out if a city is new or is old, because the old one are kind of twisting around the center, you know, built in centuries in a kind of non-organized way, like this one. Where are we here? I don't have time to, but this is Tokyo. You know, 37 million people around this area here. So an impact, you know, how many people are in Belgium? I don't know. How many? 10 million. So, okay, this is almost 4 times as many people as there are in Belgium. What about this one? Upper left, what city is this? Beijing. Well, in the United States they would say Houston because it looks a lot like Houston. So, it's a new city or an old city? It's a new. Beijing is new? Was there a kind of, it was there a few thousand years ago. So this is exactly the point. After I tell people if your strait is new, if this thing is old, then I show this picture and people get confused. And it's because Beijing, it's an old city with a very new infrastructure. So, because until 30 years ago, the Chinese were going around with a bicycle and chopsticks, and today the industrial capability of China, it's gone really high. So need to be attentive on that. So if you are coming with a spacecraft, fly over Europe, and you sit over UK more or less, and you point your camera down southern Europe, you see this picture. So you see where we are here? Okay, so this area here, I think this is the Cologne, Frankfurt, something, Munich. Then there is a black hole, which is Switzerland here, Austria, another black hole. And then, woof, Italy there, you know, Torino, Milano, Venice, Florence, Rome, Naples, I mean. So if you were an extraterrestrial life, if you get to Europe and you stop a second and you look up and you say, okay, which one is the most industrialized country in Europe? Actually, you can also say, which one is the country that has the most natural resources that can be used to maintain this infrastructure? You know, Italy has about 3 oil wells somewhere southern Italy, somewhere there. So we don't have petrol there, we all buy it. But I always joke when I'm in Italy, I say, well, it's because we have a lot of nuclear power plants. Which is also not true, because Italy, by decision of the Italian population, does not have any nuclear power plant. There are no nuclear power plants in Italy. So I ended up saying, well, this is the spread, because we actually buy nuclear power from Switzerland, Austria, and France, and then use it to burn it up and throw a lot in space. So it's a good choice. Okay, so wait, I want to see you this one. This is the 50th anniversary. 50th anniversary of Yuri Gagarin, who's there smiling in the middle. And yeah, I know why. Why are you laughing? I don't know. Okay. Shuttle, AMS deserves a talk by itself. We talked to the Pope, which means that the Pope believes in extraterrestrial life. It was us. Time to leave. Dima is actually smiling here. Then we take the picture, go back, and there is a series of catastrophic events in the Soyuz that bring you more or less at this point. You think you're already dead 5 times. But you're actually there waiting for the soft landing, which I can tell you, there is not a soft in this soft landing. And then you're inside there waiting that they build a structure around the capsule so they can take you out. It takes a little bit. It took us 45 minutes before I got out. Dimitri was more or less okay. Katie was just, I mean, it looks like she came from vacation. She's talking on the phone, and she has glasses and like this. So it looks like the Queen of England saluting the folks. And then it's me. I think I was a little bit spaced out. What you see on my right hand right there, it's actually the bag to throw up, because I was not sure I was going to throw up right there or to wait a few seconds. My first observation when I got there was, okay, I'm okay, leave me alone. And gravity sucks, so that was exactly okay. But we need to continue our trip, you know, the moon, Mars, here is Mars, here. I got these pictures, of course. I'm now summarizing an hour and a half of talk with this. Okay, where are our astronomy guys, geek guys? What stars at this? See, I knew there was one that would figure it out. Yes, this one right in the middle of this red circle is Proxima Centauri. So it's the star closest to us outside the solar system, right? Which is a what? What distance? 4.26357. I'm just joking. 4.2 light years. Which means that if I go at the speed of light, I get there in 4 years and a few months. But since we cannot go at the speed of light today, we go at the snail speed of 30,000 kilometers per hour, more or less. And I calculated, if I did not make anything wrong, it takes about it would take today 152,000 years to get there if I go at the speed of our spacecraft. So kind of far away. Similar to the Milky Galaxy, how many galaxies there are on the universe? A lot. And the future is ours, we just need to dare to dream. Okay. Now, I took about 25 minutes to tell you what I didn't want to tell you, because I thought I would not, you know, go through all of this. You know better than I. Now we can turn the lights on. The point that I wanted to talk to you about is, you know, what can we do? What do we want to do in the future? I mean, I'm kind of lost, to tell you the truth. What do we want to do? I mean, people want to go in space, right? Where is Space Gate? Want to go in space because you just want to go in space. Okay, that's pretty good. Say it again? First woman on the moon. Okay. I mean, this idea of being first doing something, it's of course interesting. But it's like, how do we, I mean, I'm not quite sure today, and there was an interesting talk this morning, what we need to do to make people understand that space is useful in one way, they should support space, they should support the space agencies in their endeavor to do space activities. Then I see the projects that we do, and I'm thinking, you know, in our way of doing things, there is a lot of how should we call this? There is a lot of a way that we could be better. So just giving support to space agency, throw money at the space agency, I think it will work, but I'm not sure it's today the right choice, especially if we are in an environment today where you know, money is scarce, there's a lot of problems with work, a lot of people are in the middle of the road. I get the question all of the time, how much does it cost the space station? Well, $100 billion, and so why didn't we use it for cancer or for giving the money to the people that cannot eat and things like that. So in this kind of environment where the disposable income is little in a certain way, it gets a little bit complicated to actually do this. I think we have done a lot of things. Yes. But come here, and you can. So my point in the last 1 second, the last 3 minutes, I would hear something from you, what you think about this.
I don't want to take your stage, but I have the feeling sometimes we're asking this question, is it the way we're going? But does anybody remember the time where we didn't have GPS to guide us around? I remember that if you go a road that you've been going and you know where to go, and you always, there is doubt. Are we going the right way? Is that the right way? Do we have to turn left or right? And I think we're in that situation now. There's a clear road, I think, and it's okay. So we have the ISS, we can go back to the moon, we build infrastructure, go Mars or asteroids, and that's a good way. I think there is nothing wrong with it, because it's interesting, and all the arguments we put forward here, interesting, education, technology development, industrial policy, all those things work well, but we are in doubt. And that's okay having doubt, but let's just try to go this road, you know, with proud. Thank you. Paolo.
Anybody else want to add anything?
I think in 1969 the planet came together, and the end of the Cold War began on the day that Neil Armstrong set foot on the moon, and 100 million children saw that and were inspired, and 100 million adults were inspired. And I just think something of that magnitude, that not only was a great step in terms of scientific discovery, but in terms of how it unified the planet and how it changed our perception of the planet, was, you know, one of the greatest things in history. And we need something like that again to bring the planet together.
Very good. This is a very important observation there. I mean, one of the things that I come up with is that I'm not sure exactly why I am here on this world. I don't know why humanity is here. It's very difficult to answer this question. And of course, you can, you know, go to school, go to university, find a job, and give your contribution, live normally, nicely if possible, do things that are interesting, then die, and then the cycle starts again somewhere, somehow. I think we need some kind of bold ideas. We need something that makes us dream and do this impossible thing. This is the bold ideas. I mean, why do we go to Mars? For no other reason than we could, or we should, or whatever. I mean, I personally, I don't think we really need to find a reason. I mean, I want to find a reason why I'm here on Earth. And to me, going to Mars makes sense. And I think that while going to Mars, we get a lot of other things, which today I cannot list in detail, but we get back a lot of things that are useful to everybody. This is what I actually, I mean, a project that would make me dream and work nice, everybody involved in this project. But I'm not sure this can be done today. I'm a little bit critical here with the space agency. It can be done today with the space agencies that we have today. Are they sponsors? ESA, CNES, DLR? Because the way I see this is that today in our environment, the space agency are too much of a hostage of the political people in one side and industry on the other side. And unless there is somebody like was Kennedy in the 60s, because the United States had something to prove at strategical level and set a goal that is impossible, going to the moon, or possible, but somebody needs to go. Unless we find this kind of situation, we will still be into this process in which industries tell the politicians what programs need to be set so that they can maintain the things and build stuff and possibly build the same things and charge an arm and a leg and keep doing things, and then eventually we get something back. So I think we are in this kind of loophole here where things are not really moving forward. You know, I still say to people, it will take, in my opinion, 15 years to go to Mars. If we today decide we want to go to Mars, we have enough resources and will, it will take 15 years. But this was 20 years ago. And today, 20 years later, it's still 15 years ahead. And it will be 15 years again until somebody come up and we'll have things. But if we just say today we want to go to Mars, as has been done, or here it's you know, $100 billion, here industry, let's do it. It will not work because we don't have the really a method to actually do this. Or not? What do you think? And I'm trying to figure out, you know, a way to get out of this loop.
Can you come here, boss?
So essentially, I'm going to let them talk, but my point here was, I think I'm missing a little bit of basic philosophical solid base here and what to do, because the answer, in my opinion today, is not to give more money to the space agencies, because everything works, but it's less than efficient. So what is the answer then?
Hello, I'm Bas Lansdorp. My company is Mars One, and we are trying to organize a human mission to Mars in 2023 by not using the space. 10 years, yeah, leaving 14th of September 2022. So I'll put it in your agenda.
What
time? But I agree with you that the space agencies, they're caught in a method that where they are scared to take risk, because if they take risk, their money is taken away. And I think there's also the fact that the audience is not interested in science. The audience is interested in humans. And I'm going to talk about this at 2:30, so I hope all of you will be there. And I'm going to explain to you why this is possible, how this is possible, and how we're actually doing that. So I hope you will be there too.
We'll stop.
Yeah.
Stop here. Yeah. Okay. If you want to say something more.
Yeah, so I spent a lot of time showing you pictures and doing this, but I really wanted to throw this seed in there, and I think this is what you've been doing for quite some time during this week. And it's like, how do we actually really come up with something? And I'm looking forward to hear how do we go to Mars in 10 years in a private way. This is very good. But we should have idea. You know, we should have a way to get out of these things. We all want to do something that is interesting and do something that is meaningful. I'm kind of lost in this time and age to try to find a good way to do it there. And if we can point out this way, I think we will really go and make a step forward for humanity.
Well, thank you very much, Paolo, thank you very much for coming, for spending the weekend with us, time from your busy schedule, and actually for following the unconference format for us. That was really cool. Thank you for that. So we would like to give you one of our T-shirts. Just to a reminder, we can't afford anything, you know. Yeah. Can you put it on? Okay.
Thank you.
Now it's lunch, so same as yesterday, just go outside and enjoy.